We'll go to the YouTube.
Basketball. Nothing's happened with our team in the last 6 hours. We're going to start the same way tonight. Any basketball questions don't matter. Since we left shoot-around, 14 children were killed 400 miles from here.
And he's right. In basketball, it doesn't matter. They're in the fucking finals, conference finals. They're one series away from the fucking championship. Fucking shit.
And a teacher. And in the last 10 days, we've had elderly black people killed in a supermarket in Buffalo. We've had Asian churchgoers killed in Southern California. And now we have children murdered at school. When are we going to do something? I'm tired. I'm so tired of getting up here and offering condolences to the devastated families that are out there. I'm so tired of I'm sorry. I'm tired of the moments of silence. Enough. There's 50 senators right now who refuse to vote on H.R. 8, which is a background check rule that the House passed a couple of years ago. It's been sitting there for 2 years. And there's a reason they won't vote on it, to hold on to power. So I ask you, Mitch McConnell, I ask all of you senators who refuse to do anything about the violence and school shootings and supermarket shootings, I ask you, are you going to put your own desire for power ahead of the lives of our children and our elderly and our churchgoers? Because that's what it looks like. It's what we do every week.
Yep.
So I'm fed up. I've had enough. We're going to play the game tonight. But I want every person here, every person listening to this, to think about your own child or grandchild or mother or father or sister, brother. How would you feel if this happened to you today? We can't get numb to this. We can't sit here and just read about it and go, well, let's have a moment of silence. Yeah, go Dubs, you know. Come on, Mavs, let's go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go play a basketball game. And 50 senators in Washington are going to hold us hostage. Do you realize that 90% of Americans, regardless of political party, want background check, universal background check? 90% of us, we are being held hostage by 50 senators in Washington who refuse to even put it to a vote, despite what we, the Americans...
Because they are bought and paid for.
They won't vote on it because they want to hold on to their own power. It's pathetic. I've had enough.
It's not about power. It's about fucking money. It's about money. Once again, here's how much money they have taken from the gun lobby. Ted Cruz, Steve Scalise, John Cornyn, Lindsey Graham, Mitch McConnell, some of the most powerful lawmakers on Capitol Hill. Devin Nunes, Ron Johnson, Kevin McCarthy. And as I said, like, it's not just the GOP. This is breaking it down the GOP. There is Tester, there's Manchin, there are others in the Democratic Party that also are on the take from the gun lobby. It was an excellent speech. Content warning from an impassioned man who actually cares to a gigantic piece of shit that's going to piss you off. Here is Steven Crowder, who is probably doing his show with a whole... Yep, there's a gun on his fucking desk. He is wearing holsters. He's got two guns on his body right now.
Definitely going to be doing some note-taking today. Look, I know this isn't the first place that you're tuning into today that's discussing gun violence and the tragedy that had taken place yesterday. Okay? That's not lost on me. And I know that if I say that I'm praying for the families and my heart absolutely breaks, and I think I speak on behalf of everyone in the studio that that's the case, that a good portion of you are going to comment that, oh, well, that's not enough, we need to do something, and of course the atheists will comment, spaghetti monster, because they never miss an opportunity. So, look, let me lead with that, and let me lead with something here. I assume that everyone who's talking about this outside of the politicians, and even then probably a good portion of them, cares. And wants...
I don't think you care.
This country wants...
I don't think you care.
Violence. I don't want to get to just gun violence. I don't want to get to just
No,
mass shootings,
no,
because that's a very small subset of violence.
You don't care. You don't want to limit violence. You're sitting there with guns on your body, a gun on your fucking desk.
People want to cut down on violence. I think that most of you, whether you're left or right, want to cut down on our kids.
No.
Being
No.
killed. Okay, so let's start from that.
I don't believe it.
That being said, let me ask you this. Here's my question of the day. Because you see people like Steve Kerr out there saying, do something, right? That's the do something. Do you think you make your best decisions when you're angry and emotional in the heat of the moment? Is this the right time to start removing people's fundamental rights or changing the very fabric of our Constitution? Do you think that's...
I don't know. When are we supposed to wait 2 weeks? And then the next one occurs? And they're like, oh, well, we can't do it now because we're in the heat of the moment and our emotions are running high. And then we're going to wait another 2 weeks and there's going to be 5 fucking more? Huh, Steven Crowder? Fuck off. It happens every day in this country. There are more mass shootings than there are days, Steven Crowder. So exactly when are we supposed to calm down and make this rational decision? And hey, Steve Kerr, who you're bashing right now, put forward common sense legislation, background checks. Apparently the kid in Texas did indeed have issues with the law, did indeed have mental health issues. And if a proper background check was conducted, it would indeed have prevented him from purchasing the firepower needed to kill 19 children. The assault weapons ban, which the NRA used to be in favor of, which Ronald Reagan was in favor of, would have stopped him from killing 19 children. I don't think if he had just had a handgun and the cops engaged him outside of the school, he would have been able to go in and kill 19 children. Tones, yeah, calm down. Your children just died. Jesus.
When you have the best judgment. I also want to today, look, let me lead with 2 things. We're going to get to the top 5 myths, the claims that are being made right now in the wake of the tragedy that had just taken place in Texas and has taken the life of, at the time of this.
The top 5 myths concerning the tragedy in Texas is your first one about how your audience is slandering an innocent trans woman? Your audience. Guarantee it. If I was to go to your Twitter, the people who aren't dunking on you probably think it was a trans woman that shot up fucking Texas.
If I'm not mistaken, is it 19 people now? Or is it 19 children and then plus 2 teachers?
19 children, you asshole.
Plus 2.
Yes.
Dear God, I hope that does not include the shooter in there.
No, it does not.
They used to do that.
Yeah, they did.
So let me preface it with this. Guns, firearms, save far more lives, and by that I mean many.
No, not true.
They take.
Not true at all. If you own a firearm, you are far more likely to shoot yourself, a loved one, have the gun stolen from you and used against you than you are to stop a violent crime. Period. End of story. Now, yes, that statistic includes suicide, but it is a fact. So what Steven Crowder is saying is fundamentally wrong. Fuck off.
That's a fact.
No, it's not.
Depending on the stat you use, 94 to 97, we'll take the low stat. 94% of mass shootings occur in gun-free zones. Marley was dead to begin with. Let's set the stage with that, and then we'll get into the tired, recycled claims that are being brought out right now, specifically as it relates to this shooting. And there are a handful that come from former Vice President Joe Biden and, of course, are being echoed on Twitter.
And once again, who's sponsoring this show? Gun manufacturers. Why is he sitting there with guns on his person, on his desk? Are you scared somebody's going to bust into your fucking studio? Seriously, dude, you're taking money from the gun manufacturers. You are not unbiased here. You're full of shit and you're pushing a narrative.
Let's start with that. Do something, okay? 3 million defensive uses of firearms a year versus in the teens of thousands as far as homicides, depending on the year. Far more lives are saved by firearms in this country.
By the way, that is just an estimate.
If it saves one life.
That is just an estimate that he's throwing out there by a pro-gun organization.
Shootings occur in gun-free zones. If it saves one life, okay, 94%. We need to if we're going to talk about doing something, we need to start with the highest percentage plays. Let's just all assume that we don't know we don't have causation here, but we have to look at the strongest correlations. Gun-free zones, fatherless households. Right, we can look at these. Then we go way, way, way down the list. Oh, wait, that there's a correlation that it's always an AR-15. It's not even close. It's not even close. So just afford everyone here the same assumption that we are affording you right now. That you care and that we care. And that being said,
I don't.
Show is funny.
I don't have that assumption about you.
Really, really good at our jobs. I don't know.
You're not. You're not.
Yeah, I'm mad, and I was mad yesterday. Think about it. I was just mad at Europe. I was mad at Europe in general. People were like, "What are you mad about today?" Remember, I walked in, I was like, "Europe." You're like, "What?
Why?
Just, why not?"
Do I need a reason?
And today,
school children don't get murdered on a regular basis in Europe.
But I get angry and frustrated with the people who think that they have the corner on being angry and frustrated. It's like being in a marriage with Amber Heard where only one person can have an emotion. No, everyone can feel something right now. That's okay. That's natural.
Yeah.
Or two people cannot have.
I feel the intense urge
Yes.
Also,
Well,
to take my fist.
And then he was dead inside.
Right.
Or she just started.
I'm trying to think of a way to say it that won't give me terms of service on Twitch.
Once you poop in a bed, it's pretty hard to feel.
it's her
unless you're
bed,
drunk.
too.
I've always said that's fine.
Yes. But even then,
very
it's not if you're a
forgivable,
woman, because women do not poop. So, my question is, what do you think we can do? And should we hold a bit before we make some decisions? That's a...
No. And the background check legislation that Kerr mentioned would be a good place to start. I personally think we should outlaw the commercial sale and manufacture of guns. That's my stance on the issue. I've got nothing against personal gun ownership. I think it's going to be impossible to regulate gun ownership. Yeah, Sparkles is like, I don't poop? What? That is news to Sparkles. I think it's going to be hard to regulate the personal ownership of guns going forward, especially when we're talking about 3D printing. But you can easily outlaw the commercial sale and manufacture. Doesn't even take an amendment to the Constitution to do that. Boom. NRA out of business. Remington out of business. Colt out of business. Fuck off. I think you should be able to sue gun manufacturers. I think those families in Texas should be able to file a class action lawsuit against the gun manufacturer and put them out of business. So there are many things that we can do. I mean, the NRA is banning guns when it comes to their conference coming up later this week. The NRA is banning guns for Trump's appearance at its upcoming convention. The organization that lobbies for laws that make it easy for anyone to carry a gun does not want anyone carrying a gun to their own event. Oddly. A very good point. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold had a mom and dad. On Friday, May 27th, which will be 3 days after the horrific mass shooting at Robb Elementary School that killed 8, now 19 children and 2 adults. The National Rifle Association will meet in Houston, Texas for their annual meeting. Donald Trump is scheduled to speak at their leadership forum, where guns will not be allowed. You can have your gun at other events during the 3-day convention, but if you attend the forum with Trump, NRA's Executive Vice President, NRA ILA's Executive Director, and our nation's top Second Amendment supporters for the NRA's event announcement, then you will be prohibited from exercising your God-given Second Amendment right to bear arms. The irony is almost too disgusting and predictable to even bother pointing out, yet here we are again, another mass shooting, a million more worthless thoughts and prayers, and a bunch of hypocritical politicians who don't want firearms allowed inside an event that's being held by the very organization that lobbies said politicians to pass laws that make it easy for anyone to buy a gun and bring it to wherever the hell they want, like a shopping center or an elementary school. Hey, Steven Crowder, why aren't you going and screaming at the top of your lungs about how Trump is going to be in a gun-free zone? Oh my God, he's unsafe. He's going to be in a gun-free zone. Trump is refusing to pull out of this NRA speaking spot in Texas. 6 hours ago on Axios, former President Donald Trump confirmed in a statement on Wednesday that he still intends to speak at an annual meeting of the National Rifle Association, which is set to take place in Houston later this week. Trump's doubling down on his speaking engagement comes a day after a gunman killed at least 19 children and 2 adults. America needs solutions and real leadership in this moment, not politics and partisanship, Trump said in a statement before he goes to attend a partisan political event held by the very people who are fucking this country up. The same people who are holding these lawmakers hostage with their donations. And don't forget, the Senate Intelligence Committee found that the NRA, the conference that Trump will be speaking at, was a foreign asset to Russia ahead of 2016. The Republican Senate said that the NRA was a foreign asset to Russia. Exactly, sitting cow. Can you imagine a Trump speech without partisanship?